what was the other question? About the
Is
white
your bass,
stripes?
Yeah, and is your bass drum going to be loud enough?
To whose standards?
Exactly.
I don't know. I got at least 3 drum kits in there, and it's just like Kirk and James were talking about. I mean, we experiment a lot. I try and play different drum kits. You know, everything in the past about like the sound. It was like, you know, we dialed a drum sound in, and that was sort of like on, you know, all the records pretty much just had one drum sound, and now it's like not even, there's a variation, not even just from song to song, but sometimes even within the songs. Like I'll play one drum kit for like the intro and the verse, and play another drum kit for the chorus. So there's a lot.
Run over there, or how does that work?
Yeah, I ask you to like play a guitar part, and I run like in
I'm
the
changing kits. Fill in. Riff.
like in the Four Horsemen on that one stage.
Oh man,
That didn't happen.
you made it. One time you didn't.
No, the one time he got on the kit, and then all of a sudden the kit decided to go down in the middle of the song. All I could see it was Lars' face. To the never. 1993.
You guys have no idea. We're talking about on the what was that tour called? Black.
The Snake.
You know, the Snake Pit stage. Got 2 drum kits, and Peter Mensch came up with the idea, because it fucking wasn't my idea. Came up with the Four Horsemen of running from one drum kit to the other in the middle of the song.
Doing dunk, 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 dunk.
But anyway, so there's a lot of different sounds going on from the drums, even within the songs. There's one song where we actually put a mic on a cardboard box. I kid you not. We put a kick drum pedal up to a cardboard box. So it's pretty all over the place, which is really cool right now. So when the record comes out, you tell me if it's loud enough. How was that?
That was excellent. All right. Peter L. of Baltimore has a lot of really great, serious questions.
Peter L. from Baltimore
Yeah.
goes under Damage X Inc.
Yes, and he has had 244 posts.
So he's not
blackened.
a movie. He's blackened.
He's blackened. Okay. All right, this is a really good question. Okay, what previous album of yours is this new shit most like? Even if it's totally new, it has got to be closer to one of the albums than the rest.
That's a great question.
That is a very good question.
That's a great question.
It sounds like all of them. But really, it does.
Kill
It
the
sounds
puppet lightning.
for justice.
Kill the. Yeah.
for justice.
And
Black
garages.
Justice.
Black Justice garages
Black,
for all.
Black Justice loaded
Loaded
in the
and
garage,
reloaded
in the killer garage.
with
Yeah.
S&M.
Yeah.
With S&M.
Some.
With S&M. 53rd and 3rd.
See, here's if you ask that same question in 5 years, I can tell you it sounds a lot like the album coming out next year. Well, it doesn't have a title.
Best dressed chicken in town.
Oh yeah, it does have a title.
The title, yeah, is Best Dressed Chicken in Town. It's the best dressed chicken in the town.
I think that's a great question. We haven't started. Like some of you guys have been following some of these shenanigans. I mean, we haven't really decided what songs we're going to put on the record yet. So right now we have a lot of ideas that cover a lot of musical territory, and until we sort of figure out which ones we feel the best about and which moments we want to share, it's kind of difficult, because right now there's just a lot of ideas in song form, but sort of just we haven't started really throwing stuff away or putting check marks next to songs, so it's still a little early.
Any instrumentals or ballads?
Instrumentals?
Well, at this point, there are a lot of instrumentals.
Not as many as before, though.
Yeah, not as many before.
That's for sure. We're getting vocals on there right away, which feels really good for me to be involved in that process. You know, it helps the song totally. Once you got some patterns and at least even some lyrics that you can build off of, it feels like the end of all the vocals would be saved for the end of the recording, and it would get crunch time, and it would be just, I'd be in total hell trying to come up with all the stuff. So now that we're doing lyric ideas together and all coming up with one-liners and building lyrics on the spot from music that inspires us at that moment, it's awesome. It's all occurring right then. And so you're going, because a lot of times writing down lyrics or even riff tapes, you've got such a thing in your head right at that moment, and you want it to all come out. So I don't have time to do it, so you write it down or you put it on something, and then you go back and listen to it. You could never kind of really completely capture the stuff that you had right at that moment.
Yeah.
So we're doing that now, and that's just obvious.
Yeah.
It's real obvious.
It's really fun just writing stuff down, and then James literally sings it.
Yeah. 5
you know,
minutes later.
30 seconds. You know,
Yeah,
it's
even
like
30 seconds later.
I mean, it's pretty fun.
The great thing is that these songs are being birthed in the studio and grow in the studio, right in front of our eyes, which is a great thing. You know, it's pretty different for us.
But I mean, there's no right now. There have been no deliberate plans to have an instrumental in I guess in the way of your Cthulhu's and all that business. But who knows? I mean, the one thing we just keep pounding into our own heads is no rules, and there certainly are some pieces of music sitting around that have not been sung on yet. So who knows what will materialize? What was the other thing?
Yeah. Anything on this new album that's going to really shock everyone?
Besides the cover and
Hurdy
the name of it.
Besides the cover, the name of it, and the music,
No.
and our choice of bass player, no.
Hurdy Gurdy. Oh, that was the last album.
Don't tell them the name of the album.
Shock.
Alright. Here.
There's something I have to say. There's something kind of shocking on the Ramones cover. So when you guys hear that, a few of you might get a little shocked when you hear the old Ramones track that's coming out in November.
This is definitely the best question.
Definitely.
I don't know, man.
Written well.
You think so?
It's written well.
All right. That is awesome. I can answer that right now.
I think.
I think.
Close up of a T-shirt. Polar bear in a snowstorm.